small offset spatula. And for cake, especially when I have guests, I try not to make something that's too incredibly sweet. Just something that's like a dessert. So, yeah. Yeah, I hope it's good. I tasted a little bit of the batter. That seemed good. Yeah. And it'll spread out from the center. Of course, you always want to make sure when you're looking into the bowl that it's all well mixed. You don't have any flour hanging out on the bottom. I just had this quick thought of how when I speak I tend not to say a lot, and it's because when I was in high school I took a speech class and I was taught not to say and if you teach me something, usually very often it like really sticks in my head, provided I agree with it. So my teacher's name was Dr. Boring. Can you imagine? I think he changed it later. Can you imagine as a teacher having a name, and having been a teacher, I can tell you that would not be easy. You have a name like Boring. So, all right. And we want to make sure we get it all out to the edges and that it is even so that it bakes evenly. Let's see how it goes. Oh, I can hear a bird outside. I love that sound. It's so nice. I don't know where Scout is. What's up with him? That's right. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a useful thing. Obviously, I loved English. I became an English teacher. My son is also. They both love to read. I think loving to read, it's like good in a way when you're a teacher, because then you give that love of reading to your students, or you're always trying to teach them the love of reading and make them feel really comfortable about it and really see it, just its value, not even necessarily just academically. I mean, it's good for work and for, obviously, and for school, but also really the idea that just the good feeling about it, you know? Yeah, yes, exactly. All right, we're going to put our raspberries. You can put them in a pattern, or I'm going to put them in sort of in a pattern, or you can just kind of plunk them on top. I just like the pattern way in the sense of that then when people are eating it, like they always get a raspberry, you know, if you kind of evenly space them out. A small one will stick in this little space. Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to do a thing where I would show, there's actually book trailers. You probably know that. I don't know why I'm telling you that. So for a lot of YA books, there's trailers, and I used to find them and show it to them. It would make them feel like more inspired to find the book. So, oh, well, that is kind of the thing, is that I think in a way you are predisposed to it. Felix is really into reading, I have to say. He'll sit with a book in front of him like he's reading, and he'll make it sound like he's reading, which is pretty funny. My other grandchildren also, but you know, they were exposed to that like right away in an environment that makes you feel good about reading. You know, like it's cozy and you have your parents' attention. And I think that's like a lot of it too. And I grew up, my parents read a ton. So I learned that from them as well. And for me, it was always like a comforting thing. And it is now also. All right, so I really want to use like all my raspberries. So we're making some adjustments. And yeah, the trailers are so fun. What's the one? I'm going to look up in 1 second because you have to watch it. It's so fun. I think it's called Bad Girls Don't Die. And it's a fun book. And that one has a trailer. So some of the trailers, the best trailers are the ones that are made by the publishing companies. There are some that are student made and stuff like that, which, you know, are kind of fun, but they're not, the other ones are like little movies, you know, and they know exactly what to say to encourage you to want to read the book, which is fun. I always loved showing them that one. I like when I'm standing up like a really long time and my watch says, you should stand up. And that's what happens to my husband. He used to read all the time when he was younger, and now it's like, nope, time for sleeping. Let's see. Yes, it's called Bad Girls Don't Die, and it's Katie Allender, Alender. It's a very fun book. It's actually a series also. I liked the first one the best. And that one has a really good book trailer, like very engaging. Definitely makes you want to read the book. So so I would do that, or sometimes I would read them like a very engaging first chapter, like there's some there was a Neil Gaiman book I used to read with them too. There we go. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. Right, yes. It's a little bit like, you know, Only the Good Die Young and all that. The Graveyard Book, that was the one that I used to read with my students all the time. It has the most fantastic opening lines, and it really makes them want to read it. Now, then they would get bogged down in the whole reading is a chore sometimes, like especially if you're not a good reader, which is why I liked to read whole books to them. Then they would have that experience at least. And they would always clap at the end, which was adorable. Even like the kids who were like a little bit rough, they would get really excited about it and start clapping when we were done. There's one book called When You Reach Me. My son and I each read that to our class, so that was fun because we would do it together. Do you want to see this beautiful cake that we're making for our guests tomorrow? It's with raspberries.
Very nice.
I wanted to make something a little. Thank you.
You don't want to surprise them, so maybe we should have a little try tonight.
Here's a cake. Never mind the pieces that are missing from it. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. Yeah, so here we go. This is what we have. I think it'll be good as usual, even though it should be fine. Especially with the juice of the raspberries. I'm not taking any chances. So we're going to put it on our rimmed baking tray. Yes, you're exactly right. All the dads, thank you. All right. Still working on getting my nose to stop dripping. Kind of irritating. But I think, yeah, I think it will be a good cake. I'm gonna pop that into the oven. 350. We're gonna set our timer so I don't forget to take a look at it once I start doing other things. There's like